Got it. Coach, if you want to go ahead and open.
Yeah, I just want to start first and foremost by saying I'm just proud of our football team more than anything else. We might have been down, but just the belief and guys staying together through some challenging times. So much credit, all the credit goes to those young men in that locker room. And I just simply told them after the game, you can't measure what's underneath their shoulder pads there. And I love them to death for their heart, for their resilience, for just their belief in each other. Kind of talked about it earlier and kind of compared it to, and we're playing, think about when you were a kid and you're playing pickup basketball. You want to stay on the court, you got to win, and we don't want to go sit. And so call it what you want, do or die. We know what's at stake, but I love them, and trying to reiterate that shouldn't be a stressful feeling. It shouldn't be a stressful statement. If anything, we give my man Patrick, our FCA chaplain, credit, because he said it best. Shouldn't just cut you loose and make you play free because you know exactly what's on the line. So I'm just proud of the guys, man. I wish I could describe the feeling in the locker room. That's why you do it, though. That's why I do it. That is special, special, because all the hard work that you put into it, for the end result to be us almost tearing the ceiling off the locker room with how loud the fight song is, that's what it's all about. And so that feeling is second to none, and it's great to see some of the guys that have graduated last year, a couple years ago, 3 years ago, to see their faces in the locker room. They're not in uniform right now, but they're just as big of a part of it. And just to see the jubilation, the excitement, a lot of cracking voices at the end because everybody, I think, blew their voice out just singing the fight song as loud as we could. So proud of the guys for battling all day long. Great job at the end of the football game there by our defense, man. Getting that stop there on 4th down and then being able to send victory formation out on the field. Just so proud of our football team, and the credit goes to those players in that locker room.
Coach, you talked a lot this year about confidence and kind of building off of positive things. And do you feel like how you guys played last week against Toledo was a confidence builder going into today? I
do. I feel like our football team believes in each other. I know the results haven't been what any of us wanted them to be, but I do see a team that does believe in each other. I never, ever for 1 second look around this meeting room when we start in the mornings and see, man, this guy's checked out. This guy's really not into it like he was. I never, ever get that feeling. And I do think that when you go toe-to-toe against a good football team like Toledo and had an opportunity at the end, our guys know we can play with anybody. And we just have to compete and do us. We got to bring our best effort. I told those guys, man, we should shatter the catapults today. That's the goal, to shatter the catapults, make sure when you take the vest off that device doesn't work because you ran so hard and played so hard that you shattered it.
Yeah. That opening drive today just really impressed me. It looked like, from my perspective, potentially the best offensive drive of the season to that point. How important was that first drive of the game and just kind of setting the tone?
Yeah, I respect you saying potentially. That was the best drive of the season. Great start to the football game. Obviously, they challenged us. They won the coin toss. They took the ball. Our defense took that personal. Obviously, the kickoff return's not how you want to start the game, but credit our defense for holding them to a field goal there. And then offense responded. Credit the offense, credit Kyle Kelly for leading the guys down the field, making good decisions, making good reads. Cooper's running hard all day long, man, and just to see that happen for him. And, we all want to win. And we're all competitors, and everybody wants the ball. Just to see him grind out some tough ones to break off some big ones today. The offensive line did a great job, man. They did a great job of opening up some holes when you run for 250 yards against a good defensive football team, mind you, that's got an experienced front seven. A lot of credit goes to those men up front that are just battling in the trenches all day long.
Yeah, on the aspect of running, no disrespect to Indiana State, but to do what you guys did today, very impressive. What were some things that you felt like their defense, presented to you guys that you could exploit on the ground?
Their defensive coordinator has been with them, with Coach McElwain, for a long time. We played against him over the years, and credit him. He has a defense, and they're good at what they do, and they don't vary a whole lot from what they do because they don't have to, because they're good at their base scheme, and they're very sound in what they do. So our guys, starting with Coach Lynch, Coach Johnson, Coach Elliott, did a great job of knowing that these were the runs that we felt good about in the run game plan, and guys went out and executed. Their communication part was good of it, because it was really good for the guys, not only with the interior guys, but the guys playing tight end, the guys playing fullback, Cole Mosier in as an extra offensive lineman. The communication was really good, especially on the edge when you're blocking some different looks on the edge.
It seems like all season the defense has really stepped up in like high pressure situations, and today it really showed itself, given the fact that you guys won. What's some things that you guys do in preparation to get them to be able to perform in those high-pressure situations?
Yeah, and listen, it starts with the guys up front. If you could be at field level, and maybe you were, but if you could see the strain in some of those guys' face when they're rushing the passer and trying to get him off his mark, knowing that they're in an obvious passing situation, they don't have any timeouts left, and if you could just see the strain. And I thought there was a couple there that thought maybe could have had one there where we could have got a call. But just to see the strain, knowing that they're giving it everything they got, and they're certainly starting it off by making it difficult on the QB to be able to work freely from the pocket. And then the guys downfield, man, obviously, we had one penalty there, but the guys never flinched, no blink, and then battled back right after that on four straight downs where we stopped them, and just great overall defensive effort. And as you said, man, when you can answer in that situation, started with an unbelievable punt by Lucas, getting them down there, if I'm not mistaken, at the 8-yard line where they had to go 92 yards with no timeouts. And so credit him, credit our special teams unit for going to deliver in a stressful situation also, and, getting that thing started that way.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the media doesn't talk a whole lot about Lucas and how good he's been this year. How important is having a punter like that for this team?
These last 2 weeks, what he's done to pin our opponents back and make it very challenging for them. You're right. They don't get enough credit. Just the operation, Tucker Dunn, who's our long snapper, doesn't get enough credit. He's just expected to go out there and deliver one right on the money. And he's going to do that, and nobody's really going to notice unless something else happens that's not positive. So you got to give those guys credit, because they're in a stressful situation also, going out there knowing what's at stake. For those guys to execute the operation flawlessly. We went on 2 to try to draw them off sides, and nobody on our punt team moved. They did a great job of holding their water, and because we didn't want them to get a good rush. We didn't want them to pin their ears back and be able to have a chance at getting close to blocking one there. So give those guys credit, and then the defense finished the deal off there, and to be able to go out there in victory formation that's a great feeling.
Yeah, and then I guess last thing for me, I know he's only started twice, but I mean, Kyle's the guy going forward. How have you seen him settle into this role?
Here's the awesome thing. Last week was tough throwing the ball. We would all agree with that. But you look down and you see 13 out of 16, super efficient. It was 100 yards, 101 yards. But, man, he's so dynamic as a runner. And obviously the decisions he was making and some of the counter read game and some of the zone read game, some of the RPO game, those were awesome because obviously when you run an RPO, there's more than one option, and you could easily get greedy and try to jam a throw in, and he doesn't. He's a great facilitator of the offense, great point guard that way, where he's just going to make the right decision. And defense has got to respect him at all times. It's one of those that you got them back a little bit on their heels. They can't pin their ears back and come downhill like they might want to and fit the run and take away Coop, because they know he's dangerous once he gets out on the edge. So he's just got to keep working, keep building. He's got great work ethic, and nobody works any harder than he has, and the guys have done a great job of just trying to rally around him and making plays when they have an opportunity.
Like you said, it just kind of seems like with Kelly at quarterback, the threat of the RPO is always there, and the defense always seems to be kind of on their heels because they have to be.
Yeah, and that's the great thing, to be able to settle in and say, okay, this is what our identity is going to be. I talked about that a couple weeks back, and this is what our identity is. This is what we work on now every day in practice. This is what we work on getting ourselves ready for game day. Obviously, the throw game, you're going to tweak a few things here and there every single week to try to see what coverage you're getting to certain formations and where we can have a chance to get a shot on them. So you just keep working on that. Nobody works harder. He does a great job of coming in here every day with a great attitude, and he's a competitor, man. He's a battler, and nobody knows really. On the inside zone, it was an inside zone to Coop down there on 4th and 1 with a read option. So if the end man on the line of scrimmage crashed, then he could pull it. Well, he had a read where he pulled it, but then that guy did a great job of recovering, and so Kyle went and became an athlete, and he jumped over the top of the pile and got it in for a touchdown there, which was impressive. Nobody sees, every one of his teammates down there on the field level knew exactly what just took place. That's just a guy being a player, man, and being a great athlete and making a huge play when his team needed it on 4th and 1.
For sure. Coach, going off that, to me, the offense just seemed a little bit more purposeful or comfortable this week. What were some of the changes that you saw from last week to this week?
Well, I think it's just the identity piece when you're working on that every day, and that's what your run game plan is every week. Whether it's zone read, whether it's some of the counter read stuff, RPO stuff, we work on that tirelessly every single week. And so I think the comfort level is continuing to grow for the guys there, and we just got to keep building on that. And Kyle's comfort level there, it was nice for him to take the field, not having to worry about rain, not having to worry. He could just go play and have a good grip on the football. And when it was time to throw, he did some good things, because there's times where you saw him pull it there in the first half. It was 3rd down. We had a go route on the outside, and they played cover 3, which was good on their end of it. But Tanner, big body, got open over the middle of the field on what we call a hunt route, and Kyle pulled it down, kind of escaped to the right, and made a great throw to Tanner there. And those are things that he's continuing to see the field better and better and better, and we just got to keep growing that.
For sure. And then defensively, we kind of alluded to it, but standouts: Cole Pierce, Jordan Riley, Sidney Houston. We kind of talked about their leadership and impact, but today was it nice to just see them kind of really rise in key spots?
I think it's just a true testament to that group of 3 guys you just mentioned. There's several, but we talk about Sidney, and he's one of the guys that if you could see him on field level and the strain in his face as he is trying to rush the passer, dent the pocket, make a difference, make it tough on the quarterback. Same thing with Jordan Riley. There's a guy that just sells out. He's got total, disregard for his body there. He's trying to do whatever and anything and everything to make a play for his teammates there. And when you talk about laying it on the line, and I talked to the guys about that this morning, talked to them about it on Tuesday after practice, man, you got to lay it on the line for each other. And they did. And then Cole Pierce, certainly, just a warrior. There's nobody that's going to, they'll give you everything they got. All those guys, man. And again, I don't want to just single those 3 men out, because every guy answered that challenge today when you talk about you got to lay it on the line for your teammates, man. It is win or go home. We want to continue. Pick up basketball, man, it's not friendly, because if you lose and pick up basketball, you might be sitting for a while over there, and we're not sitting. And the guys stepped up to the plate, took the field with a purpose, and we're continuing forward, and we're going to take advantage, man, of putting this thing to bed tomorrow. We need a couple days where these guys can get some rest, man. This mini bye that we got, these guys need to have an opportunity to get some rest.
For sure, yeah. And, collectively, I think it's the 3rd game in a row you guys have relatively contained a running quarterback. I think you only got loose 1 time. How are you guys able to do that?
It's a discipline, man. That's a discipline. That's making sure guys do a great job of doing their job. And, we work on that all week long. We played against dual threat quarterbacks. Obviously, he was one today. And, guys got to rally to the football. And I think that speaks to the effort piece of it, too. When you're selling out and you're playing relentless and you're shattering the catapult, then you have a chance to rally to the football and get them on the ground and make it tough on them.
Mm-hmm. And then, I guess in the 4th quarter, the offense, those 2 drives, I guess not quite as long, at least, as you would have liked. Anything you can learn from that kind of situation to build on moving forward?
Obviously, we got to. One thing you'd like to do is take the field with a little bit over 4 minutes left, and execute your 4-minute offense where they do not get the ball back. When I say that, when you're in a 4-minute offensive mode, that's obvious running situations, because you want to continue to move the clock. We had a great start with that drive with the 1st down. Then obviously we had a play there where we had some negative yardage. But that's the goal, man, is to get out on that field and bury that last 4.5 minutes that's left on that clock. And we'll just continue to work on that. There's no secrets to that. It really comes down to execution there, but we'll continue to work on that so that we can get ourselves in that situation again and execute better.
And then last thing for me, like you said, you guys kind of have the mini bye, schedule change shifts. How do you just approach, I guess, that unique schedule?
Yeah, it never stops for the assistant coaches. We're going to come in tomorrow and we're going to watch the tape and put it to bed, give the players, get them out of here quickly, but then the coaches will be on the road Monday and Tuesday recruiting, because it's the only chance you have during the season with a mini bye to take advantage of being able to get out and get on the road, because the recruiting piece of it never stops, and this is really the only small window we have besides going to a game on a Friday night where they can get out. So those guys will be attacking that, and then we'll be ready to get back on the practice field again about midweek.
Feel like you'll be able to sleep better tonight than the last few weeks?
I'm going to sleep better. I'm going to sleep better. I'm going to hug my wife and thank her for tolerating me.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
We'll go offense first here. Thank you, Mike. We'll start with Marquez Cooper, and then we got Kyle. I'll bring Cole Pierce back in here a little bit later. Thanks, Coop.
Yes, sir.
You guys are rolling. We'll open for questions. Go ahead.
Hey, man. Run all over the field today. Just what did you see out there that was giving you guys so much success on the ground?
Big shout out to my O-line today. They was clearing people out, getting great movement. So, when I'm able to get to the second level, get them one-on-ones, that's what I love to do, and that's what I'm here for. So, they made my job easy tonight.
I mean, how have you kind of handled the switch, commitment to Kyle, because obviously he's a dual-threat quarterback, lean on the ground game more. I guess, how have you adapted to that change?
I honestly love it. With that guy, he's able to, get some eyes off me, obviously, because, he's such a threat to run the ball, and he could throw the ball very well also. So, with that guy in, it takes a lot of weight off my shoulder. Not to say the other guys were handling business, but that guy right there is something special for sure.
Did you actually notice, defenses keying in on him where you could take advantage of the bouncing outside or hitting a certain gap or something?
For sure, read option game and stuff like that. The DN can't knife in so hard versus me because he's scared of the pool. So the pool and him running, so that opens up a lane for me to hit. So that's an advantage point that we have.
And also, how did it feel to have such a big game, score your second touchdown of the season? One of those diving at the pylon, right? To do it with a homecoming crowd.
It was pretty, and it was nice to do. I got a lot of work to do. 2 touchdowns with 8 games. That's not what I wanted and not what I would like to have. So I'm not too overexcited about that because it ain't been the season that I wanted it to be. But I'm definitely going to enjoy tonight, though. This homecoming.
Might sound like a weird question, but why do you describe it as pretty? I don't know if I would have thought that would be something that you saw.
Just the way, guy came off the edge, made a miss, and dove at the pylon. That was pretty touchdown, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it wasn't
sure.
a dirty one.
Yeah. What was Coach Neu talked about it a little bit, but what was the atmosphere like in the locker room after the win?
Everybody's excited. Everybody's, even alumni is coming back. I just know them guys through, being on the PlayStation with them guys. And so I built a relationship with some of the alumni from just that. So hanging out with them and, seeing the film that they put on tape and the blood, sweat, and tears they put for this team and this program, it's good to celebrate with those guys also.
So you feel like seeing the alumni is a bit of a different perspective for you since it's your first year in the program?
For sure.
Yeah. But you still know them because you played against some of them.
Played against them, and we still play the game to this day. So it was good to hang out with those guys and see them and my mentor Bryce Cosby. And a lot of those guys. It's good to see.
Yeah. You said you play PlayStation with some of those guys?
Yeah.
What are some things that you guys play on there?
2K. That's all we play.
Yeah.
Rec.
For sure. You and Kyle live together, right?
No, we don't live together.
No? I feel like you said that last week, but I guess I
All
got
good.
it wrong. But when you guys are running an RPO, when you have those multiple options, is there kind of a trust there that you have to have with the quarterback to be able to run it as effectively as you guys do?
For sure, because I can't just take the ball out of his hands. I got to wait till he gives me the ball. So, it's a lot of trust. When he gives me the ball, it's most of the time it's great reads. He makes a great read so I can make a great play. So, I love it.
Yeah. Kyle has talked about his process and kind of what he sees on an RPO. What's that process like for you?
My process, I'm just scanning right to left or left to right, depending on which side I'm on. I'm not going to give too much what I see because I don't want them to key on it, So, but I got a process of my own, and I'm going to hit. If there's a hole, I'm going to hit it.
For sure. This was the team's first FBS win since last year at November 1st when they beat Kent State. I guess, did it feel like the team was playing, fighting for the season today?
Yeah, we definitely were. We know what's on the line for the rest of these games, and we should have been got it fixed, but it's fixed now. And what you've seen today, get ready for much more of that.
So you feel like this win is kind of a confidence builder?
It definitely is, for sure. It definitely is, for
Going off
sure.
that, you guys scored on a touchdown on the first drive of the game for the first time this year. Did it feel different coming out of the locker room, or did the energy change after you guys finally got one in on the first drive?
Coach Elliott was saying in the locker room, enough is enough. And that really stuck with me because, enough is enough at this point. The losing we're tired of it. We're not trying to go out there and lose. We're giving everything we got. So enough is enough, and, we lived by that today. So that's...
I guess the last thing for me, I'm sure you guys would have wanted a couple of plays back in that fourth quarter, though, to make it a little less stressful. I guess that's the first time you guys have been in that position this year. Anything you guys can learn from that situational type of football to improve the next time you get in that situation?
I would just say personally, the second time we were got the ball, do you remember? So the first time we got the ball, we ran a little play where I got out to the flats and stuff like that, a pass play. What I would just say is we need to just get downhill and get dirty and stuff like that. 'Cause that's what I like to do, and that's how you ice the clock out. So I know the coaches know that, and they told me that, and we're going to fix that. So that was our first time going through that, so be easy on us.
That's all I got to say.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's okay. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Obviously, big win. Again, talking about the locker room feel and playing in front of this crowd. It's the first time that Ball State's won a homecoming game since 2019, so the first homecoming win of your career. What was that feeling like, I guess?
Amazing. Like I said earlier this week, we knew the homecoming crowd was going to be great, and it's not a good homecoming without the football team handling business. So I'm happy that we finally got that done and ended the week right.
Yeah. You got your first career collegiate touchdown today. What was that feeling like on that first drive?
It was great, to finally get in there. I've been dreaming about that for a while. So, to finally get that done, it was just calming, I've been waiting on that first one for a while.
You said last week that you couldn't really fully sink in and appreciate your first start because it came after a loss. Do you feel like now you're kind of sinking in and realizing kind of what you're doing after this win?
Yeah, for sure. It's coming clear to me that what I am and what I have to be for this team. And now that I finally got that first win under my belt, hope we can look at me as as a starter. Like I've been here, been starting, not just a new starter. So.
I know it's been just 2 games, but what did you take from last week to learn from and kind of be better this week?
Just don't leave any doubt out there. I felt like I left some plays out there last week that possibly hurt us, and we could have won that game. So just being on my best, having my best game I can have, and executing, taking what the defense gives me, putting this team in a chance to win, Feel like I did that last week, but we were on the wrong side of it, So to be up and be in that position to close the game out, it was great.
What was the mentality going into that first offensive drive of the game? Because I told Coach Neu I feel like that was your best drive of the season to that point.
Yeah, we just want to establish why we're here. We our record doesn't reflect the team that we have, and we wanted to finally come out and throw the first punch somebody in the mouth.
And then after that, it really just seemed like you guys had control and confidence for the entire rest of the game. Do you kind of attribute that to that first drive?
Yeah, we were heavy run, and when you moving the ball down the field, by the run, then it gives it's a good feeling for especially the O-line, and that's who we go as only as far as they take us. So it's good to move some people around and hit the lanes, and I think that was a pivotal point for the rest of the game.
For sure. And we talked with Coop about it. We talked with the coach about it. You guys know the situation you're in where you have to win to stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
How have you kind of approached knowing that and the fact that you're going into every game like it's not your last, but
Yeah, I told the boys today, it's like AAU basketball. The first day you had a rough day pool play, but it's bracket play now. When to go home, you can look at it. It can be anything. Like I think one of y'all said high school playoffs. However you want to look at it is when to go home. So how you want to be remembered, and really how bad do you want it?
for sure.
And Kyle, what were you seeing on that fourth down play that you scored your second touchdown on?
Yeah, we just had to get in. I actually made the wrong read. I should have gave the ball to Coop, but once I pulled it, you got to make a play then, and that's what I did.
I think someone in the press box said you were channeling a little Cam Newton there or something.
Yeah, I actually said that too on the field. That's my favorite player, and I watch his highlights before every game. And I think it was against the Texans he actually dove like that. So I had some flashbacks too.
On a day like today where Coop's going crazy, do you see the defense change in how they play you and how they play the RPOs?
Yeah, they have to respect it. So no matter what their answer is defensively, they usually have one and try to stop the run.
Was this week of practice, second week as you was the starter and the identity change coach was talking about, did it feel different? Did you guys expand on any plays or anything?
Yeah, I would say it felt different because we know it's do or die. I feel like regardless of who the quarterback would have been, our practices would have been just as tough because, like I said, everybody in here knows the situation we're in, and we have a small room for error. So we're just trying to execute and stop making all the little mistakes and handling the business.
Sure, and I guess going off that, the way the defense has been playing recently, I'm sure they're doing well in practice, right? How is that helping, both you adjust and offense and in general just kind of improve?
We go against the defense a lot throughout the week, and when we are going against the ones, I tell them, this is the closest thing we're gonna get to the game. So just having that the defense flying around and really getting the offense prepared in every aspect of the pass game, run game. Yeah, definitely a shout out to them.
Sure. And then kind of like I've been asking them, I'm sure you guys want some of those plays in the fourth quarter back to try and book the clock more or whatever. Anything that you can look back on, I know you haven't watched the film yet, to think maybe, hey, we could have done this better, or hey, we'll need to fix that for next time in that situation?
Yeah. Only thing off the top of my head I can remember is I believe it was second down, and I pulled the run and had a little throw out to Coop. if I can give him a better throw and he don't have to bobble and all, he probably could have circled it and kept the clock running or even got a first down. So I would just say, executing in those times. We can't have those little mistakes. And yeah, that's about it.
And then last thing, they talk about the scene in the locker room. I'm sure you guys are all just super happy to get a win, but like, is it also at least like relieving at all to kind of finally break this losing streak?
Yeah, it's relieving, but like I said, we all know what's at stake, and we know that this win don't mean nothing if we go out and lose next week. So, we gotta keep it going.
Do you think we can expect a front flip into the end zone for a touchdown next time?
Yeah, however I can get in there.
You think you can do that?
I said probably not.
No, I just thought I'd ask you.
I'm too scared.
I appreciate it, Kyle.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, sir. Guys, we're going to throw you a little bit of a curveball. We have the sack leader going to come down instead of the 2 QB hits guy, Cole Pierce. I couldn't find him. I've been going back and forth.
Yeah, okay.
I finally found him at exactly the same time, and Cole deferred to Sidney. He said he had a great game. He deserves to be here. Sidney agreed. Sidney will be here in just a moment. Stand by.
He's like, oh yeah.
He didn't.
No, I know. That was funny sounding.
He agreed.
Right? I did have a great game. You're right.
Now I need to see a front flip again, though. Huh? That's what I asked.
Have they ever done that?
I just asked him. Cam Newton. Cam Newton literally.
Oh, you're right. He did. Yeah.
That's why I asked.
He's 6'5".
Well, that's why I asked. Because Cam Newton's favorite player.
Yeah. Kyle's like my height.
You've seen that highlight where Cam Newton.
No, yeah, you're right. I forgot.
The crazy part is he lands on his feet.
Yeah.
What a freak.
Superman.
I need to see Kyle do
What I'm going, what he do? Superman.
That'd be sick. He wears number 1 too.
Yeah. That's too. I was about to ask him if you were number 1 for that, but
I bet he
I couldn't remember for sure if that was the number. Because what do you wear? Did you wear 1 and
I think so. I need to see him hit the folks. When Cam didn't hit the.
He did the dab. He did the dab.
It was both. It was the same silly he said. And then
The dab is a real relic of time.
he said he watches Cam Newton highlights before every game. That's what Kelly said. Yeah. Yeah, I got you. I hate that a lot. Dude, our shots the other day. Slay.
Where these photos at, I'm actually interested in coming up.
Thank you, gents.
See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I got you. And Bull was actually Bull was my play. I'd like to solve the puzzle. Sorry.
I'd like to say that guy might have dropped that 4th down pass because he.
He did.
No, but he felt Jordan Riley coming in. Watching the film on the computer.
Yeah.
So, man of the hour.
How y'all doing?
So we were told that Kevin came to find you and Cole referred to you to speak to the media because he said you had a good game and you agreed. What did you feel like worked best for you out there? Obviously, you had 2 sacks.
Honestly, it was just complimentary football. Like, we had to do a good job stopping the run on 1st and 2nd down so we can get the 3rd down and rush the passer. Like, we know we're going to have the opportunity to take advantage of their O-line. They were weaker on the outside, so any chance I got, I was trying to take advantage of them. And the guys on the inside was getting good push and flushing them out, and they able to make plays for me, and I was able to make some plays for them as well. So that was really the mindset on that.
It seemed like the defense and really the whole team today just had a lot of confidence, and that's something that Coach said that he feels like you guys needed to build. Is part of that coming off of last week, how you played against Toledo?
Definitely. After coming against a good team, playing against a good team like that, it definitely boosted our confidence. Especially after coming off a tough loss to Eastern. We already knew that. Like, we played hard that game as well, but we didn't get the outcome we wanted. And then following back, having the same type of effort and confidence, but didn't come out to win. It was just added motivation this week to know, especially it was homecoming, knowing that the situation, the last time we played at home wasn't what we wanted. So we just had to make sure we come out and made a statement. Like, this is our house, we got to protect it. And everything we want is on the table right now. Like, we still want to get both of us, but we got to win out. And we just know that. So we just take it one game at a time and just press the gas and we can't let up.
Yeah. You've been here for homecoming before. You've never experienced a homecoming win. What was that like for you and for the entire team?
It was emotional, especially for me. Like, this is my senior year. This is my last homecoming period for me as a student. So it definitely meant a lot to just go out and give our all in front of our fans and our family and for each other. For our coaches that are alumni, like, everybody plays a part and take a lot of pride in this type of day, and especially this weekend as a whole. So just to go out there and get a win for everybody, it definitely meant a lot. And it was emotional, especially I kind of teared up a little bit just knowing how hard we worked this whole year. And especially these last couple of weeks, just to be able to fight and claw through and be able to come out on top today, it was a relief to know that we finally got one off the board. So now we just on to the next.
Yeah, they said that a lot of alumni were in the locker room after even. What was that like to celebrate with them?
It's good. It's very fun, especially like just to see somebody who you know was in your shoes years ago just big. It's still the same excitement as we had. Like, they just played 4 quarters. So it just shows you, like, tradition just sticks. It carries through no matter what. Like, people just want to see people succeed because they were in the same seats. A lot of these people say it wasn't as nice, like they say, but they came back and they was in the same meetings. Some of these guys had some of the same coaches, especially like the guys who just graduated last year, seeing AJ and Johans come back. It just meant a lot just to know that we can put all this together for those guys as well.
Okay. It seems like all season the defense has really been able to perform well in high-pressure situations, like kind of when it matters most and you need a stop. Why is that?
Coach Stock and Coach Neu put a lot of emphasis on high-pressure situations in practice throughout the week. From Tuesday to Wednesday, each day is a different situation. One day might be red zone, one day might be third down. So we just got to make sure we put extra pressure and make it harder throughout the week. So when we come out to Saturday, we get in those high-pressure situations, we calm and we communicate and we sticking with each other so we can get through together and make sure we capitalize on those type of situations like that.
So you feel calm in those situations?
Yeah, like, they come with preparation. The more you prepare, the calmer you can be, the more confident you are in yourself and your teammates. You can play faster and you're not thinking as much. You're just reacting and playing and just letting the game flow to you.
Yeah. What do you feel like, I mean, you guys are about to kind of enter a mini-bye type of week. What do you think that this win does for the team moving forward?
Honestly, it's like you say, it just gives us an added motivation to, like, we got extra time to prepare now for Bowling Green. So it just take it much time as people need mentally with school, midterm just happening and ending. So a lot of guys, like you say, need to get their bodies together. So this is definitely going to be a crucial moment for everybody to clear their mental, get their body together, get their grades up if they need to. So it's going to be very vital for us to take advantage of this bye week.
Yeah, I guess just last thing for me, on the first 2 drives of the game, I mean, Central Michigan elects to receive. You guys end up holding them to a field goal, and then the offense goes out and scores. What did that, I guess, opening drive do for the defense moving forward?
Honestly, it was like a slap in the face from them. Like, for them to say receive, they were saying that they were going to go down and score a touchdown. So it definitely, we would have liked to keep it to 0 after that first drive, but we'd take 3. You feel me? As long as we keep them out the end zone. So it definitely took a lot of pride in that, just knowing, like, we got called out first. So we got to answer the bell, and especially just knowing that the offense went right down and scored as well. It just add the confidence, and it just keep the guys going. It keeps guys, like, looking forward to the next defensive drive on offense. So, like, same way with us. We can't wait to go back out there and see the offense score, see Kyle and Coop and Corey go down and score. I'm bad for the language, but it's just like it gets everybody excited, and it just shows the type of team that we are, that no matter who it is out there on the field, we want to see each other succeed.
For sure, man. Yeah, Sidney, going off that, after that opening field goal, I think you guys forced 4 straight punts. Did you feel like that first half was the best defensive play all season?
Kind of hard to say, like you say, because different moments, like you say, different emotions. But I feel like them 4 straight was definitely the most consistent we've been in 3 and out. So it definitely was a boost. And like you say, I think it was just really more that guys were more confident. Having Red back at corner, it definitely helped a lot. And just having guys, like you say, playing with each other for the last 2 weeks. Like Keontae got more in his role and just got settled in middle linebacker. So I feel like right now, a lot of guys are settling in and just being confident and just playing a lot faster. And I think they got out to a slow start and we was able to take advantage of it.
And it seemed like a lot of the, I guess, biggest names on the defense came through in key spots. Like Cole Pierce had 2 third down pressures to force punts. You had 2 key sacks. Jordan Riley had a pass break up in the goal line and a TFL, I think. And, you know, were you guys really trying to just lead as leaders of the defense to try to set a tone today?
That's what's expected of us, especially as leaders of this team. Like you say, older guys on this team, like if the play call your number, come your way, you got to make that play. Like, we don't get so many of those. Like, I ain't seen a sack for a while. I was on the sack drought, you know. So, but you just got to keep pushing and stay humble and stay to your craft and be you. Don't get trying to do too much, because once you do too much, bad stuff can happen sometimes. So I think everybody it helped to stay true to ourselves. Like, we know Jay Riley can make that play every time, and we know Cole can make that play every time, and the guys believe